Hello, family and friends. Welcome to Odyssey of the Mind. The Odyssey nugget on this video is on trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is an emotional response that is caused by a distressing event, either ongoing or series of events, right? Most of us that are brought up, born, bred, buttered and teed in Africa experience a lot of trauma by way of verbal abuse, physical abuse, domestic violence, and all the other sorts going on around. So when those were happening to us as kids or happening around us as kids, we developed some coping skills or defense mechanisms to protect ourselves from such. Some of us, we became very loud. I mean, super loud, because you have to speak up very loud and make yourself look big to protect yourself against whoever that is coming to attack you. Or you learned how to fight, like physical fight, to protect yourself from that which is coming. Because if you don't do that by yourself, the adults around you were not protecting you, and you were not going to go home and go tell whoever that you got beat or you got, because your parents most times would not even believe your story, right? They will believe their neighbor stories and all those other things that are going around them. That's not to blame them, but that was all they knew at the time. So they didn't learn how to listen to their children. They didn't know how to provide love and support for their children. All they listened to was the community around them, and all of them, it was like the blind leading the blind. Now you can step back and look at it and say, oh, that was what was going on at the time. But at that point, they didn't know. So you develop those coping skills to protect yourself from all those at home and outside the home. All right. But then now you are grown. You have to go back and deal with those things. I hope you're not one of those that says, oh no, that's not trauma, that was how I was brought up. No. That is trauma. You have to deal with it. Guess what? If you don't deal with it, it keeps coming up. It keeps showing up in your communications at home with your loved ones, with your children, especially at work, with your friends. It comes up the day and time that you don't expect it, and you're like, oh my goodness, is this me? You know, some of us became very aggressive as a result of that. Some of us very argumentative. You know, you cannot see reason from somebody else's point of view, because you've learned that is how to protect yourself. That's your defense mechanism, right? So they were never serving to you. You didn't know it as a kid that they were not serving. Now, as an adult, you know that those things are not serving to you, so you have to let them go. I am very sure that you have begun some trauma work. If you haven't, this is a wake-up call for you to begin to do your healing. You need to do trauma work. Look around, go on the internet, go on YouTube, go and search for. There's a lot of trauma work going on now. There's a lot of mental health professionals now providing trauma work. So go there, whatever state you are in, you know, apply for one, start for your own betterment. This is 2025. You don't want to be seen or known as the 2020 version of you. You want a new and improved version of you. So start today. Start the healing work. To get yourself, you have to walk back your way to those years where you had those traumas you experienced, and tell that little one at that point that it's okay now to go. You are here now at this stage in life. There's nobody that can hurt you. They cannot sabotage you emotionally, financially, or otherwise, which were our fear at the point of time that all those were happening. That if you speak up, if you don't, somebody they will prevent you, they will deprive you of food. No. That's not going to happen. So you have to walk your way back to those years and tell that little one that it's okay now to go. It was never serving to you at that point, though you did not realize it. But more so now, it's not serving. That is not how to go about it. There are more mature ways to go about those things. There are more emotionally responsive ways to go about those things, right? So now we're going to choose to make that better decision on how to handle those situations. But you have to go back and speak to those little ones and tell them that it's okay now for them to go. You don't need this defense mechanism. You don't, these coping mechanisms that were maladaptive, that you don't need them anymore. It is time for them to leave. Now it's a better you. You need a better you for 2025. We'll have to hit the ground running, right? So this is where to start from. Deal with this, get to the wound, scratch the wound, clean it out so that the wound can begin to heal. So when you look back at the end of this year, you will see how much work you have done on yourself. go. This is the right time. This is the right time to start this at the beginning of the year. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.